How is everybody doing? Welcome to the Booth Review, Season 5, Episode 3. I'm your host, Nathan King, along with
Brandon Higley.
We've been pretty slow as the late, of course, but we're trying to get back on track, trying to get some more episodes out for everyone. So, we're going to jump right into. Last time we did the NFL mock draft. How has that panned out? Probably very wrong. Everything has changed completely. Projections have changed a lot, and free agency has killed that. We'll go through some power rankings. We're gonna talk the NBA because the NBA playoffs are coming up. MVP races there. Baseball started. We can talk the Pirates, or we can skip the Pirates.
We're skipping the Pirates.
We're skipping the Pirates. We can talk the Cards. I'm fine with that. I think they're in a delay against the Sox right now, but it's a lot to jump into. But I'd say first, let's talk. We can talk about our mock drafts. Just some of the things that have absolutely changed. I'd say even just projections. We did it before the combine.
Trying to find my mock draft.
Oh, you still have that?
I had a screenshot of it somewhere.
Well, we did before the combine, so we didn't get to see standouts such as Emin Mori out of South Carolina, who at that point was projected like 45th. Now he's projected maybe 20th, 20 to 30, which has completely changed. Xavier Watts, who I had at 32, or not 32, at 30 to the Bills, is now projected second round like 50. Why? I don't know. He's 23 maybe, but his talent's there. So, I don't know. I'd say way wrong, but in Travis Hunter, I've even seen people saying he could fall. Shedeur Sanders is looking to fall.
Shedeur Sanders is a hot topic right now in terms of him falling. Some people are saying he's going to slide all the way down as far as 21 to Pittsburgh or even farther, second round, which is crazy because there was talks of him being the number one pick all college football season. Yep. Mostly hyped up by the media.
But, hyped up by the media. Now it's looking like Cam Ward's going to be the number one pick.
Yeah, and, he probably should be.
Yep.
Who else would the Titans play at quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you want to tank again, but
I think they're still going to be tanking.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be great. But we also saw Jaden Daniels completely turn around the Commanders last year.
That was new ownership, though,
as
well.
Yeah. Abdul Carter, probably the best player in the class.
Yep.
Not really that close. Travis Hunter's very good as well, but
underrated in the sense of the tight end class, I think.
Yeah. Very good tight end class. Very good defensive tackle class.
Yep.
Very good running back class.
I still think an overhyped corner class.
Yeah, not great.
I think you have
not a super
4 dudes, maybe 3-4 dudes.
Will
Johnson, of course. If Travis Hunter does play corner, of course, you have him there.
Benjamin Morrison.
Barron out of Texas.
Jade Barron. Yep.
I think that's it. That stands out to me. Maybe a dude from East Carolina, the one coming off ACL tear.
Yeah.
Shaver, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I like him, but I also see projections now. We can talk projections for our team. I see projections. The Bills are going like Maxwell Harris with the 30th, and I'm like
Maxwell Harrison.
Maxwell Harrison, zone corner, but it's just like the stats aren't there. The game's not there. Sick athlete.
He's raw. But I mean, sometimes that's what you do if you're that good and you're at the bottom of the draft every year. But
I think it's better to. But I don't know. This could be controversial. I think it's better to draft a raw prospect at the edge position, maybe a defensive tackle position, not the corner position.
Yeah, because you can scheme edges to have some success, at least to some degree, not to like the degree of a Myles Garrett or a T.J. Watt, but like they can be at least productive against the run, and you can set them up to make some plays. Corners, they're out on an island every single play.
Yeah,
can't really do anything about that.
The problem is if you're having a defensive end learn, maybe they're not getting production, they're not getting to the quarterback. You throw in a corner to learn, they're burnt toast, absolutely noticed if they're a raw prospect, and that's my problem with getting someone who doesn't have a lot of the game film on there. And at the first round slot, I just don't think it's smart, personally.
Yeah. You're asking for another Kyrie Elam.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't trust being with corners. Still going back to it, I still would love safety. Still, there. But I've also seen rumors for the Bills to get Landon Jackson out of Arkansas, Woo Pig. And I don't like it. At 30, he's going to fall anyway. Some of these edge rushers, there's good edge rushers in this class, and then there's some that are going to suck. And some of them I don't think will produce. I wouldn't mind going back in the second and getting some of these dudes, but reaching or getting a prospect now with how deep this class is, because this is a deep class.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys that can go top 20 that are going to fall to like 45. And that's where I feel about that.
How do you feel about wide receiver for Buffalo this year?
There's a few scenarios. I've seen if I don't think McMillan's falling. If he falls, you have to take him. Okay.
There is a slim chance of Luther Burden.
Luther Burden, there's a slim chance, and Emeka Ibuka, there's a slim chance. And if those two are available, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'll go through who I'm okay with. Emeka Ibuka, Luther Burden, that's the receivers.
That's the list.
Safety at 30, all three.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm cool. If Starks is there, take Starks.
Mm-hmm.
He's the youngest there, as well with having the talent. Wari fits the system really well. Maybe could be a sub linebacker because of how athletic he is as well.
Good tackler.
And Xavier Watts, I mean, if you're looking at game film, he's the best there.
Yep.
But he played in the man system. But I think he'd be fine.
He's a ball hawk. He's more of a go get it kind of safety instead of a let's go meet in the hole and I'll run you over.
Which is why going back, I was like, I want Watts. And I'd get a Watts jersey. I love Watts as a player. I don't know if he necessarily fits our system better than the other two. But I mean, I won't be upset with safety. So that's five I'm okay with. Defensive tackle, I'm cool with 3 of them. Who do I want? Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is a beast. He's going to do great going in there. And I think he has a high ceiling, but also a really high floor, which is what's good. Derek Harmon, maybe a lower floor, but I think his ceiling, because he's a beast, I'd be okay with taking him because he's huge. And then Walter Nolan's kind of the best of both, I think.
I think he's... I think he's the best nose tackle besides Mason Graham in the draft class.
Yeah,
I think Walter Nolan's sick.
He's a beast.
Just his get off.
I don't know what they feed him there
for
at
his
Ole Miss.
size.
Yeah,
his get off is special. Great hands. Just doesn't move like a guy his size typically does. Even for an NFL defensive tackle, he moves better than a lot of NFL defensive tackles. I think it's going to be easier for a team to find out what they want to do with a guy like that than it would for a guy like Derek Harmon, where he's limited in some aspects of his game. So I really like Walter Nolan. And I like Kenneth Grant too, but I'm also interested to see how Kenneth Grant will do if he is the number 1 nose tackle instead of playing next to Mason Graham as well. So that's another dynamic you got to think about. But big Walter Nolan guy. He's amazing.
Why I like Derek Harmon is the run-stopping ability. He could just power through, and that's something that the Bills lack.
And even if he doesn't win the rep, he's already plugging the hole. He's massive. So I agree.
But I don't know. I'm okay with all 3 of those. So that's 2 receivers, 3 safeties, 3 interior D linemen. I'm okay with. Okay. Linebackers, 1 Campbell, Jahad Campbell. He'd be the only one I'd be okay with, but that's because he can play the edge as well, and he'll succeed. Alabama had elite edge defenders. Put a athletic guy that can play linebacker. It worked. And I think he could do both, and I think he'd sub in a lot at both. When it comes to elsewhere, corners, I'm not too big on the corners. I just don't think we should take one with 30. I think we can wait a little bit. I can get one in the second.
Or just don't.
Just don't. Edge rushers, James Pierce maybe. If he fell, maybe Mike Green if he fell, just because he has a lot of production and
That'd be a Bills
great.
Pick.
He's very athletic, so I still wouldn't be upset with that. But I think that the Bills are going to trade up at some point. I think that they have the capital, and I don't see them trading down a bunch. But there's a lot of dudes I'd like. I mean, Mike Green would not, out of all the players I said, would be my least favorite out of those. I don't know. It's just, it's a different translation. SEC translates really well, and I don't want to be that guy, but it just does,
It's true.
And it feels safer. As for elsewhere on offense, nowhere else. Line's good. Offensive line's been elite.
Yeah.
Quarterback, running back, get one anywhere in this draft. We could wait till the 5th and get Ollie Gordon.
Yeah. And you could get an undrafted rookie. That could be fine. It's not like you don't have James Cook for this year. He's going to play. Ray Davis is fine. Ty Johnson's a sick running back too. So it's not like they absolutely need one, but depth's always a good thing as well, especially at that position. But,
last thing I'll talk about with the Bills before we shift to the Steelers, just hidden on draft. The players that I've seen that I would not want to draft would be that Landon Jackson or another edge rusher. Not Arkansas, A&M guys.
Stewart and Scourton.
Yeah. Not huge. Don't want them. No, I just don't want another edge. It's been bad under the Bean era. I'm cool with what we have. Fill that hole in the middle. Past that, corners. There's like 4 of them I don't want.
Yeah.
Keep them away. No. Receivers. I saw only like 2 mock drafts, but it was like the Bills could take Meyer at 30. No. I like him. If we got him in the second, I'm okay with it. At 30, no.
One guy that I love in this class that I'll talk about later when I'm talking about the Steelers is Matthew Golden.
I like Matthew Golden.
I think he would be sick in that offense.
How do you feel about Tez Johnson?
I wouldn't take him in the first or second round. We don't have a second round pick either anyway, so I don't know. I feel like there's a lot better receivers out there from a physical standpoint, from a speed standpoint. I like speed, man. He's fast, but he's not Matthew Golden, Xavier Worthy, these cats that are coming out that are like 4.3 below.
But even Golden, I would not want him in the first. Better dudes. I think in the second would be great for him.
Yeah.
As a Bills fan, personally, like our draft.
Right, because you got a smaller wide receiver in Khalil Shakir that you just gave a bunch of money.
Deserving.
Right. Why I want him to be a Steeler? Look at our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers.
Big physical dudes.
Trees.
Well, you have an athletic tree. Okay, where you have an athletic speedster tree. Okay, with DK, and he just bodies dudes, you know. But then I'd say, just the flexibility. I'd say just the insane catches that you have on the other side. It's different, but it's also you don't have a dude that's just lightning.
Right.
You know.
And he's always open, even when he's not, because
he'll make it work. You know, he's against the number 2 corner this year.
It's going to be unbelievable. And they got to double one of them. They got to pick one. The other one's going to get 100 yards a game.
Yeah.
It's going to be special, especially when you know who comes to town. It's coming up. Probably by the next time we film, it'll be done deal.
See, hear me out, though? Also, I will say, you give a college football game to come out, and I know college ball.
There you go.
That's all it's taken.
There you go.
I've been mock draft crazy. I don't know. I'm doing like one a day going through.
I'm ready for football again already.
It's the best.
I mean,
right
hockey
now.
season didn't treat us well.
No.
Baseball season is killing me, and it's been 10 games, and I'm already done.
Baseball, I know my team sucks, but I'm hopeful for the future.
My team's just at the absolute bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
I don't even want to talk about them today.
We don't have to. They're off the table.
Yeah, I'm excited for the draft. I mean, that's coming up. How many days?
Is it like 24th, 25th? I should know the date. I think it's 24th.
Yeah.
Cardinals, Red Sox postponed.
But draft's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Notre Dame spring game's coming up. So there's a little bit of football to hold me over until OTAs start in July, August-ish.
The UFL's out.
Yeah. It is. Like it's there.
Destroying made a kick. Good on him.
Nice.
Okay, that's where I'm going next. So I've talked Bills, and I just wanted to get it out because, it's not football season. Most of this podcast is not going to be football today. But wanted to get it out. Steelers, they have to go QB, right? QB or running back? First, I could see them trading down now, truthfully. This
is the first year where they really genuinely don't have a need in the draft. Because
they don't have gaping holes.
There's not gonna be a quarterback there that's worth, unless Shedeur slides.
Shedeur slides, you take him, but if not,
but you're still getting Aaron Rodgers. So,
but you still need the future.
It's a bad quarterback class. Hear me out. Drafts in Pittsburgh next year. You trade up, you get your quarterback next year in Pittsburgh. That'd be magical.
You guys drafted Kenny Pickett with a first-round pick.
Yeah,
I could absolutely see you guys either taking Dart or trading down and taking Dart.
I don't think they're going to take a quarterback.
I don't know.
They have some other positions that they could fill. So here's kind of my wish list, right? At quarterback, I would take Shedeur in the first round if he's there.
Yep.
Wouldn't take Dart until the third, but he's not going to last till the third. We don't have a
Probably
second.
Not.
Our second round pick was DK Metcalf. Money. Fine with it.
Fair.
Don't care. Running backs. I would take Ashton Genty if he was there in the first round. If he falls to 21, he's a special.
Anyone else in the first round or no? Hampton or
no? I would wait till the third to get like a Quinshon Judkins. I'd be fine with Travion Henderson, but he's more similar to Jalen Warren than Judkins is. And in terms of size and play style, I'm not huge on Ollie Gordon.
Nah, he's gonna fall anyway. Like he's 4th or 5th probably now.
Not big on him. But yeah, I mean those are just a couple names that I wouldn't mind.
What
Wide
about
out.
corner?
So here's the I was gonna say corner before free agency was a glaring need, but then you don't have your second round pick anymore, and you sign Darius Slay. All of a sudden, it's Porter, Slay, Beanie Bishop. That's a pretty good room. I think you can get a corner in like the 4th, 5th round to be your number 4 guy, and I wouldn't mind that. Don't think you should take one in round 1, just because it's not one of your bigger needs. Benjamin Morrison would be so cool, but we can't.
He's a good slot guy. That's why the Bills are not touching him.
I don't know where he would play.
Yeah. Who is the slot right now for the Steelers?
Beanie Bishop.
I thought it was Beanie. Okay. Yep.
Don't need safety, obviously. Don't need linebacker.
If Campbell's there, do you take him?
I don't think you do. You got 2 starting quality linebackers, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson.
Yeah.
They're both young, under contract for a long time. Don't need an edge rusher.
Offensive line's actually much, much better.
O-line's in a weird spot. Well, it's in a good spot because you either have guys that are solidified good quality starters or you got to give them this year to see, right? So Troy Fatanu and Broderick Jones, you can't not play them. They're both their tackles this year, set in stone. Zach Frazier's a beast in the middle. Mason McCormick is a beast at right guard. And then Isaac Seumalo is going to be your starting left guard no matter what. So all 5 spots are solidified. You can add depth later in the draft, and I'm cool with it, but don't invest a high pick in one. Tight end, we're good there. Freiermuth and Washington are going to hold that down.
That's another interesting position, though, because it is Freiermuth's good, but it is such a deep tight end class, and you don't have a lot of needs.
You can't take one high, though, because you just paid him.
Yeah.
So
but if one dropped at that point, that's the point. It's like you guys are in a best available situation.
Which is refreshing,
unless you
because usually there's one position where you're just biting your nails every time one gets picked.
I'd say the one you are right now is running back, and the problem is, or not the problem, the good news for you guys is how deep this class is that you don't have to take one in the first round. If Jainty's not there, you'll get these guys in the the 3rd even.
The one position I would like to see as target in the first round is interior defensive line.
Okay.
You got Cam Hayward, but he's 38, and then you got Keanu Benton, who's pretty good. But the Steelers like to rotate guys in and out often, and you're going to end up getting stuck with Isaiah Loudermilk getting a ton of snaps, and you don't want that.
This is the class to do it, though.
It's a great class, and I think Kenneth Grant or Walter Nolan, those are the guys.
You don't want Harmon?
Not at 21. I don't want Harmon.
Okay.
I would love Walter Nolan at 21. I would love Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant's going to be a surefire thing.
Yeah, he's fine.
Like
I said, it'll be interesting to see, but also if he's a Steeler, he's not going to get doubled. You got 2 other interior defensive linemen that are great. You got Watt, Highsmith, Herbig right next to him. Not going to have to worry about it. So, yeah, I think he'd be a good fit. So, interior defensive line, wide receiver, running back, those are the guys. Or Shadur Sanders. Those are the guys that I would like to see. So, the receivers, Ibuka, Golden, those are the realistic names. I don't think Luther Burden will be there, but if he's there, I wouldn't mind that either. Then your receiver rooms, it goes from the worst in the NFL to pretty freaking good. Probably top.
If you got another dude, yeah. Who's your slot?
Calvin Austin, who's good.
Okay.
He's fine. Had a good year last year. Catches the ball fast. Roman Wilson's healthy finally. Going to get to see what he can do this year. Mike Tomlin, he just talked at the combine, and a bunch of these pro days. He's excited about the work Roman Wilson's put in. He's back on the field healthy, learning the playbook. He's going to have a role for sure. And I think that's a sneaky guy this year. If you sign Aaron Rodgers, he always has that one guy you're like, hey, you made him pretty good. Like a Randall Cobb, who was a good receiver, but he turned him into an all-pro. Alan Lazard, guys like that, that he has a connection with. I think Roman Wilson's going to be that little slot guy that Rodgers just feeds him passes underneath the sticks all day. But, that's how I feel.
Worst case scenario, the things that you've seen. Like the rumors you've seen, the players you've drafted, who do you not want at 21?
I don't want Jalen Milroe. I've seen that in the first round a bunch of times.
I have seen Hampton a bunch of times too.
And that's just, you can't draft him in the first round. There's one guy worth drafting in this first round as a running back, and his name's Ashton Genty. We've learned our lesson from the Najee Harris situation.
It's his longest run, like 39.
Yeah. I mean, you can't draft just a regular running back in the first round. Najee was a good athlete, but he ran a 4.5.
He's so slow. And he's not like, he wasn't. The problem with him is you can be that slow, okay? If you're throwing guys off you, explosive.
He was soft.
Yeah.
So
he was huge. He wasn't doing it. He was soft, like you said. He wasn't. I don't know. That's it. He wasn't physical enough for the position.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be an interesting draft because this is the first time I really haven't had a general idea of what we're going to do. I could see us going different avenues, like I said. But another one that I really, really, really don't want, I've seen Jaden Higgins a lot in the first round. I don't think he's a first-round receiver. I think that if someone takes him in the first round, I think it's going to be as a result of, hey, like 5 or 6 receivers are already off the board. We need one. We're just going to reach and take positional need. And I think that's a recipe for disaster for a lot of teams usually. But I don't like that in the first round at all. So
see, best case scenario for me, if I'm a Bills fan, 30, Kenneth Grant, okay? Best available, I want that interior dude. Our next position, we have 2 second-round picks later in the second round. I can't remember the exact numbers. Second round, that first one, Xavier Worthy. Or not Xavier, whoa, Xavier Watts.
Former Bill, Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Not really, but.
Xavier Watts. That would be perfect, okay? I also saw one that was crazy that we traded up for Will Johnson. I wouldn't mind trading a second for that.
He's legit.
Yeah, but okay. So we get Kenneth Grant, Xavier Watt, and then we come back and we get either Maxwell Harrison. I'd be fine with that at that position.
That's a guy. Speaking of him, I think if he's there in round 3, that's a good pick for the Steelers.
He's a zone defense guy, and that's the thing. I just don't think he's first round talent. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's first round.
Great athlete.
And if not him, Benjamin Morrison, love him, does not fit our system. You know, He'll
probably be a first rounder too.
We just don't. The problem is we don't need him. You know, he's more of a slot guy. We have our slot guy, and I feel like
he's a beast, dude.
He is a beast. I think he could fill around, but I'd rather have Siobhan Revel out of ECU. Coming off an ACL tear, but he was projected, like, before his injury, he was projected as one of the best corners, either 1 or 2 in the class.
So was Morrison.
Other than Will Johnson. But, like...
Morrison was supposed to go top 10 until the injury, too, so...
Yep. And I think they're both going to be good, but if that's the case, this is where I want to take the corner. And if we touch offense, unless, like, Luther Burden's there, Ibuka's there, unless one of those guys are there, I don't want it. I don't want offense. I just want stack this defense, because what lets us down? Every year defense. I don't care if all 7 rounds go defense, I'd be like, okay. 1 running back in there, because I think we trade Cook. That's where I'm at.
Probably.
At this point, I think he's gone. And I think
pay him $15 million.
It's his fault that he'd be gone. Because he's the one that's kind of, if I'm putting it, kind of throwing his ass for money he doesn't deserve. He's had 1 good year. I like Cook. Don't get me wrong. He's a good back. He's had 1 good year, and he wants to make top 3 money.
Yeah, running backs don't have leverage right now to do that unless your name's McCaffrey, Henry,
Saquon.
Yeah, that's it. That's the list. And other than that, maybe Bijan, but you can't really justify
paying a dude like that hasn't produced like
James
that.
Cook is.
And James Cook's put the numbers up.
Back end of the top 10 in terms of running backs.
I'd put him to like 8.
Yeah.
But regardless,
$15 million is a steep price.
I think he does also benefit. I mean, he had that sick reach, that play in the AFC Championship, but I also think he benefits a lot by having a Josh Allen on that field and by having an elite offensive line. With how good our offensive line is right now.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Would love him to be our coach. Unrelated. With how good the offensive line is, I think all these dudes eat. And want to know why I say that? Ray Davis was eating. Ty Johnson was eating.
Ty Johnson was unreal.
Yeah, like, if everyone else is going to eat just as much when they go out there, it's not the running back. And I like James Cook a lot, but I'm not paying this dude $15 million a year. Like, no. It's just not worth it to me.
You can't do it.
No. So I think he's gone. I think we can get a second or a third for him. And if he got traded during the draft, I wouldn't even be surprised. Trade him, get another running back. Oh, he's gone. Get Hampton. oh, we're back.
Fixed.
Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And there's like I've said, 4 or 5 dudes that are him or better in this draft. And I believe it.
Well, it's not a shame because I'm very excited for the fall. But
that's why I'm
Jeremiah Love
next
will go
year
pretty high in this draft.
He has another year, and people are upset. I'm gonna rant. I saw things. It was like, oh, top 10 players of like this year or whatever, and going into next year as well. And Jeremiah Love was on both lists. People were like, Jeremiah Love over this player and things like that. And I'm just like, yeah, he was 10.
He should be higher than that.
But people were mad that he had the 10 slot, and they were like, this player's better. This player's better. Jeremiah Love's a beast. This man's a sophomore.
Best running back in the nation.
Yeah, he's a sophomore, injured as shit in the playoff. Who was still
balling.
Yeah, still balling. He was like, I won't hurdle anyone. I'm so injured. And then he's like, I'm messing with you. I'm clowning.
On a one knee.
Yeah, like he's a dog. He's a dog.
Excited for him next year. It's gonna be a fun team. They got a lot of people coming back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bad news. Bad news. I will say, South Carolina dynasty. My 95 of linebacker starter, dislocated wrist. He's cooked. Playoffs out. Unrelated to the podcast, but he's done. Okay, I think we're done with football. I think that's where we're at with football. Actually, no. One more thing. Contracts.
Aaron Rodgers is the man.
No. I want to say one contract I want to cover just because I think it's a bad contract. Stephon Diggs got, what was it, 3 years, 60-something million, like 63? Yes, 3 years, $63.5 million. $25 million guaranteed for the Patriots. How do you feel?
It's not bad.
But you're paying I don't know, $21 million a year for him is insane.
That's nothing anymore, though, because the cap.
But there's better dudes getting paid a lot less, not on rookie deals. And I guess you're trying to make your quarterback progress, but I feel like, obviously making Drake May have someone there, kind of like they did that with Josh Allen with Diggs, and it worked. But I feel like it was a panic move by the Patriots because they could have given that money to 5 other receivers in free agency. And then their last dude was Diggs there.
Yeah, but he's still good, though.
I'd give him like a C on it, but I don't know. I think it was a bit of an overpay.
If he didn't get hurt, he probably would have gone over 1,000.
Maybe.
Just got hurt. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they needed to get somebody, though. Like, I think they were okay with overpaying, maybe, but.
I mean, they're not going to expect it to win this year,
Right. It's going to be a step up. They're probably going to be in the 6 to 8 win range.
Yeah, I could see. I'd say 8 probably.
Yeah.
Like, I see it on the upper end. They probably get us once.
It's a big year for the bridge. It's actually a massive year for Drake May. There's a lot of doubters in Drake May right now.
I don't know why.
I like Drake May.
Like, I think Drake May's going to be fine.
Yeah. He's good. I think he's better than Caleb Williams right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's that controversial.
Nah, because they put all their assets into Caleb Williams, and they still didn't succeed.
Caleb Williams made Keenan Allen bad. It's pretty hard to do.
I can't argue it. You're not wrong. But Drake May had nothing, and he was doing well. They also just made a trade with the Cowboys, I believe, right?
Which very interesting for Dallas.
They've had one of the more interesting. They've been very untraditional in their moves. They've signed 5 or 6 former first round picks. And if you throw a former first round pick, it just means bum. If you have to include that instead of 3-time Pro Bowler. But it's like they're trying to make any of these guys hit. I'm just looking up trade right now with Joe Milton.
5th and a 7th, I believe.
5th and a 7th. Good on them. Want to know why good on them? They got a 5th and a 7th for a guy that played 1 game against the Bills' backups. He balled.
Not even their backups. Their 8th string defense.
It was practice squad.
It was brutal.
I know. I can name most of the 53 man or the 52 man roster. 53. 53. Yeah. I can name most of the 53 man roster. They were bringing up guys I never heard of. If I don't know a player on my team, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Because I can say I know almost everyone, but even we were past even Joe Andreessen on the linebacker list. It was tough sailing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But that being said, he did that, and then the Patriots just give us more picks. They did beat us. I guess that's what they get instead of having the first pick.
Right.
Which they're not suffering that much. They didn't need a quarterback. But
I feel like it's a good year to not have the number 1 pick, too, a little bit. I
mean,
they would have taken probably Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter would thrive in that system. But I think Hunter would thrive in their system. Where I think there's a few.
They'll probably either end up with Hunter or McMillan. I don't even know which one they're going to go.
I think they go Hunter. I don't know. It's just.
I think he can play both ways.
I think
too.
McMillan's a Jet, but Jets are in a weird spot.
Yeah, they always are. They're a joke. They think Justin.
Well, they went.
Fields-
There's two teams that they went all in. I don't know why they went all in. You know, they had Aaron Rodgers, and they said, okay, our roster's good enough to contend. It wasn't.
Not even close.
There were a few.
People are forgetting Aaron Rodgers had a really good season.
The Broncos went all in a few years ago. But if you're going to go all in, you don't have more than 10 wins in a year. Like, you're giving rid of all of your capital, and you can't hit 10 wins. 9 wins. That's embarrassing. Like, now they're screwed. They got no success, and they're screwed for the future. It's just a bad system.
I'm going to read these stats. Hold on.
These Rodgers?
Rodgers and a mystery quarterback.
Mystery quarterback. Oh. Okay. I'm going to try and guess the quarterback, too. If that's okay with you.
It's fine. You probably will.
Well, while you do that, what can I rant about now? I already talked Bills. Dolphins. I have the Dolphins. Not too worried about the Dolphins right now. Other teams with free agency. Actually, I'll talk about this. Yeah. Because I know Bills more than anything. The signings. Great signings. Benford, that contract for like 3 years for $20 million, or $20 million a year, $19 million a year. He was projected 25, 26 range a year. Beautiful contract. He's 23.
Yeah.
Or turning 23. He's like 22 right now. He's a beast. Milano restructured. Great contract there. Greg Rousseau, he got paid like $20 million a year. Then everyone started getting $30, $40 million a year. And
Sets
he's
the
only
market.
gone up. Yeah.
So.
Like, all the contracts we've had, Shakir, $15 million a year, making what Judy does. Like, I don't know. I'm happy with these contracts. These contracts are great for the market increase. And Allen got paid a lot, but he still is not the most per year. I think Dak still is, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's wild.
We'll see how Dak plays this year.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, yep.
Quarterback number 1 is Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
63% completion percentage.
Yep.
Compared to mystery quarterback 63.7.
Mm-hmm.
3,897 yards compared to 3,731.
Wait, 38 and what?
3,897.
Okay.
Compared to 3,731.
Okay.
28 touchdowns for the both of them.
Yep.
Rodgers did throw 11 picks, but was also sacked 40 times compared to this guy's 14. And now you know who this is.
Yeah.
They had a.
Do you have rushing stats?
Well, you see, that's not going to matter when he's wearing black and gold.
See, my thing is, though, is the quarters sat out in there as well. You have a lot of that. You also have a lot of running in the end because you're up by 20, not down by 20. That being said, I don't think the season was as bad as people thought. You play on MetLife, it's brutal. I think that's been a big disadvantage for anyone in the East. Because you play in MetLife every year, and that's where you're losing 2-3 guys. Normally at least one, star. For us, it was Milano the year before. Who was it this year? I don't know if we lost anyone big. I think Spencer Brown got banged up for us this year, but MetLife turf is crazy. 14 sacks is crazy.
14 is crazy.
His pick numbers weren't crazy either.
No. I think he had 6.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, he had a great year.
Yeah.
But I think Aaron Rodgers can still throw the football.
Yeah, this again, you're comparing him to the MVP.
Yeah. So it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Controversial or not, still want it, you know? That's our Super Bowl. Okay, we're moving sports. NBA, we're going to talk briefly because I hate the NBA. But we're going to talk Bulls because, yeah.
Lots of lately.
Lots of
from our lovable losers.
Thunder was belt.
Yeah, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. I think they could give. I think they match up actually decently crazy. I don't think they would win this series. I think they could steal a game or two, but I think they could match up really well against Cleveland.
So do I. I was going to say the same thing.
And again, that's crazy just because it's again, I'm not oh, let's give it a break. I'm not predicting them to win a series, but I think that they could contend and actually give them a fight because of how well they've been playing as of late in playing against everyone else. Because, one, Kobe White has averaged 30 in the month of March, player of the month in the East. Josh Giddey has averaged almost a triple-double in this month, Buzelis is finally, getting into his form.
In front of our eyes. It's amazing. We haven't hit on a first-round draft pick. When's the last time? Kobe White?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had Iowa's second round, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say he's a hit either.
We had we had the paw. I'm just naming players.
I mean, Dalen Terry doesn't even play.
He's still on the roster.
Here we go. Here's your stat for Josh Giddey. NBA guards in the modern era with a 15, 19, and 12
Can
game.
I guess?
3 of them.
Jokic.
Guards.
Oh,
only.
guards.
3 guards in the modern era.
Westbrook.
Westbrook's one of them.
Luka.
Luka's the other.
Is he the third?
Yeah. And Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey. I feel good about myself. Yeah. And they said we lost that. We told everyone.
We told anyone that would listen that you are wrong.
We said we've seen Caruso play. Give us Giddey. Caruso's all right. He turns the ball over a lot as a ball.
He can't score. That's important.
He plays good defense, but he's not 20. How old is Giddey? 22, 23. He's young.
22?
Yeah. He's not 22 anymore. Giddey has hair. Giddey has locks. He has a flow. But
he's 6'7".
I don't know how he's getting rebounds like he is, by the way. He out-rebounded Vooch yesterday. That's nuts.
He's really
At his
good.
guard. And
it only took, and he didn't even, I wouldn't say he struggled early on, but the trade of Zach LaVine was maybe the best thing that happened to this Bulls team.
Is he filling in that role being what Lonzo was supposed to be for us before his injuries?
Kind of.
All he's doing is spreading the offense. He's getting boards. He's dishing out the ball. He doesn't score a lot. He scores enough, but it's like he's making the plays to facilitate this offense.
Could you imagine if Lonzo got fully healthy for next season?
Imagine Lonzo ever is healthy ever.
True. But the lineup of Lonzo, Kobe, Giddey, Buzelis, and you go trade for a good center. That's a good team that I would love to watch.
For the first time in a while, and this is false hope, I'm going to hate myself in a year. I've said that, like, the Sabres I felt promised so many times. But I feel good. I feel good about the future. I know we're going to suck now. But
it's not even suck. They're beating some good teams, too.
I see
They're going to make the play-in.
Yeah. I see some cats now. There are these cats now, and I think Buzelis sent because he hit. It's just because he's blossoming. He's having 30-point games, like, some of these nights. Like, he's actually kind of volatile, but anywhere from 12 to 30, you give him 2 more years in the league, it's going to be more like 25-30 average instead of these 12-point games.
And he gets up.
He's when he heats up, like, yeah. But I don't know. He was projected. He was going to be a top 3 dude, and he got hurt, and then we were like, take him.
Sure.
And I was actually really excited about the Buzelis pick.
Yep.
I really liked that pick.
Yep. I was in Ohio
Mm-hmm.
at a resort when the draft happened. Me and John were together, actually. Very exciting. They showed his highlights. I kind of knew a little bit about him. He's from Chicago. So there was kind of a storyline going in if he would fall.
We've been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
We've been taking hometown guys, and I don't mind it. Again, I want Io to get healthy, even though I guess that's just me liking Illinois there, but I like Io. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's
good
going
back. Decent backup.
When he's healthy, he goes on runs sometimes. But I will say it's just this core right now.
He can defend. I'll give you that.
It's this Kobe White, Giddey, and Buzelis, and that's where I'm happy right now.
And they're all really good. They're all kind of different. Like Kobe's your go-to scorer. He's going to get you 30. He's going to get that bucket when you need it. Buzelis is more of a two-way guy. Does it both. And then Giddey's your triple-double guy.
I'm going to say this.
Point guard.
If they do not bring back Josh Giddey, I will not watch a game next year.
Free agent?
Yeah. We got him like a year. If we do not bring him back, I will not watch next year.
Yeah, they need to bring him back.
Because what he's done, you cannot let him walk.
No, he's your guy. Hold on.
I think he's a free agent, right?
I hope not.
It's several players. Wow, this is way outdated. I thought he was a free agent, or he's only on like 2 years. Yeah. Javon Carter, Josh Giddey, Talon Horton Tucker, Trey Jones.
We have him next year in an RFA. So he's a restricted free agent, but he's not an unrestricted free agent yet.
Yes, but we're idiots. If we just let him go,
they won't.
He's the hope right now, you know. I would just be, I don't know. I'd be very disappointed. Someone who's regressed. I thought Dallin Terry was going to be solid.
Yeah, he was good in college. I don't know. Some guys just don't translate. I also don't like Billy Donovan. So
Yeah.
if I had to make one move this offseason, or two, I guess, I would trade for a star center and fire Billy Donovan.
I forgot who it was, but was telling me he's a good coach. I was like, I see these games. Like, I'm watching Bulls games. He's not that guy.
One of the best college coaches in the history of college basketball.
Yes.
Not a good NBA coach.
He just, I don't know.
His best season ever was blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing ever after that. Nothing.
Yeah. Hear me out. Love Thibodeau.
I love Tom Thibodeau, too.
People hate his style, and I like Thibodeau.
It works, man. He gets the most out of guys all the time.
You don't want a soft team. I will say, you have a team like the Sabres, all this talent, they are the softest team in hockey.
Until the season's over, and then they're just back.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen so many times where you let your guy get punched in the mouth and you just watch him. You don't stick up for your guys. It pisses me off.
Sad.
You got to stick up for your own guys. And it's just, they're so soft. This is just a random Sabres fan. They're just so soft. It's like they're getting hot now. They're winning games now. I hate it. They do this every year and kill our draft. Oh, you won.
And it's a good draft. The top 4 are all amazing. They're going to just totally just tank that.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are 20 games out of playoffs. You're going to win now? Why? At this point, start your 4th line. Switch them. No. Sabres aren't getting talked about until they win games. Until next year they come back. Sabres aren't getting talked about for 5 years. I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of them.
14 years. 14 years.
I hate it.
The Pirates it's gonna be 10 for them this year.
Yeah, and they're not looking much better.
It's gonna be 8 years since the Steelers have won a playoff game.
And that's unusual for them.
Yeah, I'm in shambles.
The Central
Bulls haven't won a playoff series since what, 2015?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10 years. I haven't won anything in so long. It's getting ridiculous. Can someone just step it up? Please.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Steelers.
You think? You look at the roster, and it's got to be the Steelers.
They got to.
I mean, Skeens give you guys hope, and then everyone else, no. They're like, yeah, we have. They're using him as. Hear me out. The Pirates are using him as like a carnival attraction right now. It's like, look, we have this pitcher that's going to allow 0 to 1 run a game. Everyone else is terrible, but we have him. We have Livy Dunn. Everyone else sucks, and then they're going to let him go. And I don't know. Hear me out, though. The Central sucks again.
Mm-hmm.
The NL Central is a joke.
They don't have the money to be good, man.
But it should be these it should be big market, you know? And because, like, the Cubs especially are a big market. They should be able to do something. St. Louis isn't a small market by any means. Like, they should be able to do something.
I think the Cubs are going to be good this year. They're 7-3. They've won 5 in a row.
They've won 5 in a row. They started off slow.
They're nasty. I mean, Kyle Tucker was a great pickup. The lineup 1 through 9 solid. Love Ian Happ, Pittsburgh guy. Did you see the diving catch he made today?
Yeah.
Unreal. Dove almost into the wall in foul ground on the track. Just full extension. Caught it out here. Belly flopped on the ground. It was unreal. You got to go check that out if you haven't seen it. But
Okay. Yeah, I will. What was I going to say? We'll get into baseball in just a second because we were ranting. Let's finish the MVP talk. We'll go into MVP talk real quick, and then we'll hit on baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so we're a little more structured. Well, that's just because the Sabres piss us off. And the Bulls most of the time. Your Pirates. Anyways, MVP race. Right now, I'm going to look up the MVP race. It's between Jokic, Shai, Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
And I can read out the stats for you. Right now, it's just truthfully, right now it's Shai or Jokic. Giannis is not getting it.
Right.
Shai is still number 1. 32.8 points. 5 rebounds, 6.3 assists. The best player on the best team. They're the number 1 seed by like 13 games. Defense, not the best. But, I mean, it's not bad either. Their defense has been really good this year. But Jokic, 29.7 points, 12.8 rebounds, 10.2 assists. And he just came off a 61-10-10 game that he lost. And that's it. That's where we're at. Giannis is doing well. 30 points, 12 rebounds, 6.2 assists. Like, this is a crazy year in general. But, like, where do you give the nod? Do you give it to Jokic because of the better stats? Or do you give it to Shai because he has similar stats, but they're winning?
I just think it's crazy that someone who averages a triple-double isn't a surefire lock.
A 30-point triple-double.
Yeah.
Like,
unheard of. Well, not unheard of, but because it's happened before.
Yeah.
Like, unheard of that he's not the runaway MVP.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. I would lean Jokic. I really would.
This is where I'm at. Is Shai, I get it. They're the best team, you know, and I get that he's the star on that team, and they have really good finals odds right now. Okay. What Jokic is doing is still unheard of, and every year what he does is unheard of, and it's the same thing. If it's like, well, he's won 2, vote over T. Who gives a damn? That's the biggest BS argument. I'm so sick of it. He's won. He can't win again. Why? You see people win the finals 4 times. You give Rudy Gobert Defensive Player of the Year just because he's Rudy Gobert like 5 times. I don't know how many times, actually. Probably like 4, right? 3 or 4. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. That's sad.
Dwight Howard, first ballot. Are you kidding me?
I'm actually okay with that.
He was fine. He was a star for like 4 years.
3-time DPOY.
Yeah.
And a deserving DPOY, not a Rudy Gobert DPOY.
Right.
That's why I'm not too upset with it.
The entire back half was awful.
Yeah, he could have retired 10 years before he did. He should have gone Taiwan earlier. But my thing is, it's like, I don't know, Jokic is, he's doing things, and when I'm watching him, it doesn't look real. You know, it's basketball I've never seen before, and it looks ugly. I'll put it that way.
He's not like a super athlete either.
No, it looks ugly. Like his shot, like I saw this thing, and I've seen it before, and I've watched it myself. But it's like you run down the shot clock, you play great defense. He chalks up a shot like this for 3, step back, looks terrible. You're like, oh, that shot's shit, sunk every time. And I'm just like, how?
And it's playing his own game out there.
But I've never seen an offense run through a center like this. Like,
right.
He's a point
it's
center.
Happened before, but like he can do it all.
He is a point center. If they put him at point guard and got another center, they'd be fine. It's just crazy. And like it's not like his defense is the most stellar defense in the world. But what he's doing is just rebounds, yes, he's tall. Whatever. Those happen. But his passes are the most beautiful I've seen from a center ever.
Best passing center of all time.
And I mean that, yes. And I'm going to say he's the best passing center
One
of all
of the
time.
best passers of all time, end of sentence.
Yeah. I think Luka ends up there too. But Jokic is so damn efficient. And he makes it look effortless. And when you make a sport this complex look this effortless and easy, how can you not be the MVP? I like Shai, don't get me wrong.
Shai's a great scorer. He's one of the best scorers of the decade so far.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him that he has to be in an era that has Jokic in it right now. And I feel bad for Giannis too, because Giannis is having 30 points. He's having this stat line every year. You're having 30 points, 10 rebounds, like 7 assists, and you're third every year in MVP.
You think Giannis gets moved this offseason?
No.
To the Chicago Bulls?
Would love it. I don't think he does. I don't think they move on from him. I think he's a Buck until he's at least 36.
I don't know.
I don't think he's a Buck forever.
There's been rumblings.
They messed up once they. Oh, who's their coach right now?
I don't even.
The coach carousel is crazy. Once they fired Budenholzer, like that's when coach of the year, and they had they got knocked out in the first round because Giannis got hurt.
Right.
Not their fault. Your best player on the best team, the player that runs your offense is done, runs your defense done. I will say Giannis is the best defender of the 3, but he's that guy and he gets hurt and you're like, okay, our coach of the year won a finals, we're gonna can him. NBA coach sucks.
They should have kept Drew Holiday as well. That was a big mistake, but
they wanted Lillard. They were like, oh, look at the flashy lights. Like he can shoot. But he doesn't offer as much as Drew Holiday did.
Never won anything in his life.
Yeah.
Never won anything.
I like Dame.
Me too. Great. One of the best point guards of our generation.
You already have your one. You have Giannis, okay? And maybe he's not the best shooter. He doesn't need to be. He's just so dominant. He's huge. But you don't need Lillard. What Drew provided is Drew was great at spreading the offense.
And he's the best defender on the floor.
Hell of a defender. And if you have a defender like him and Giannis on the court, people weren't scoring on them. You have Lillard in there, everyone's scoring on Lillard. Who does Lillard stop?
He's a great defender too when he's healthy and
yeah, he just got
well.
old. Like I'm not upset with them moving on from him. He's just
that was a great team. That team that won the title. That was a really good.
I just don't think they needed Lillard, and I was excited about that move, but I don't think giving up True was the move for it. Like letting him walk was, it's just stupid, and that's why Boston was like, like
they're nasty again.
Of course they're nasty.
Unbelievable.
The Cavs are nasty.
Cavs are nasty, but the Cavs are, I think, more beatable than.
God, Mobley's hell of a. He's
Celtics.
so underrated. He's such a great defender. I don't know. I've liked this Cavs team, and they're young too, and it's a new era. It's now. I'd say in the last 2 years it's been the new Bucks taking over. Like you have all these young stars coming in. I mean, Shai, of course, not so young anymore. He's like 27, but like
he's in his prime.
Yeah, you don't. It's not LeBron dominated anymore. I like LeBron, but it's not at the top. It's not LeBron, KD. Like Curry's doing well. Like they're still getting points. They're still great, but they're not the guys leading top teams right now.
Right.
And instead,
the Suns are low key not good at all.
No, last year you had Anthony Edwards with Timberwolves. I mean. They messed up with getting rid of Cat, and they were fine. They didn't need to make that move. But last year you had Ant, who was coming in and taking over. Still, the Grizzlies were the 4. I don't know what they are now, but with Ja, taking over there. Wemby's a beast. Shai's a beast.
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson's a beast. It's just you have all these young guys coming into the league, filtering in that are now running the league,
Soon to be drafted.
Donovan Mitchell's not old.
No, he's not. He was drafted in what?
Ben Simmons, right? Well, year after.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a different era. Basketball you play later, I feel. Like the star dudes are playing until they're 37, 38 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with it. As much as it's like these are the guys that I grew up with, it's a fun new era as well. And I like basketball because basketball is no longer just the top teams. And there are some of these top teams, but anyone can win these series right now. And I like that. Basketball's good when you have discrepancy on who can win.
Yeah. I want to check the standings, actually, because it's an interesting point.
I'm not a robot. I have to go through the whole thing. I'm selecting squares with bicycles to check NBA standings. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that. Regardless, the NBA, I think just right now it's at a good point, and I'm happy with it. And it's the most marketable right now, I think, as well. Right now, you have the Cavs in the first, of course, but it's Cavs, Celtics, Knicks. Okay, so you have Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, and a few others, of course, and Brunson. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. Number
4, the Pacers.
Yeah.
5
versus Detroit.
Yeah. 5, Pistons already. Giannis is getting older now. They're in the 6. The Bucks. Paulo Banchero in the Magic. The Hawks. It's young teams. I'm surprised the Heat made the play-in. They went on a really, really bad stretch. But no, it's different. They
traded Butler.
God, the Sixers suck.
They're bad. They're real bad.
Mm-hmm. Good. Trust the process.
Trez.
But no, in the West, the Thunder are the 1. The 2's the Rockets.
The young Rockets.
The Lakers are 3. You give them Luka. They weren't 3 if they don't have Luka.
100%.
But you just give them Luka. How are the Mavs doing? Losing a bunch? Yes. They want to win now with Anthony Davis? That's the dumbest shit I've heard.
One of the top 5 players in the NBA.
They were giving Mavs good trade grades. That is the worst trade. That's an F. That's an F minus. That is the worst trade I've ever seen.
Too much.
You do not trade your franchise superstar. He eats too much. Okay, Jokic does. How are they doing? Well, let him have his Chiefs puffs. He's deserved it. Maybe they'd be better if he was in better shape. That was their argument. But maybe you'd be better if you still had him.
Yeah.
But Nuggets, Warriors, makes sense.
So,
T-Wolves, Clippers. The West, I will say, is older.
Yeah, it is. And I love that because it's always been the better conference. It's time for the East to step it up.
Well, yeah, the 90s, the East was dominant. And then 2000s, the Spurs went on a run, you know? I guess the Heat had their time. But, yeah, the Spurs, Lakers, they went on runs throughout that. It was mainly West dominated, I'd say, the entire 2000s.
The Warriors.
2010s, the Warriors. Now it's back to the East. And I'm happy. I like a strong East.
Yeah, it's cool. Because it's better basketball markets, in my opinion. I mean, you got Indiana in the 4 seed. They're the basketball capital of the United States.
Yep.
The New York Knicks. What a basketball city New York is. Boston, great basketball
It's
city.
a basketball city when they're good. Like, I mean
Cleveland, they love the Cavs. Detroit, they love basketball.
Yeah.
Atlanta's in the play-in. It's a good basketball city. The Bulls, Chicago is a Bulls city when the Bulls are good. And then Miami's in the play-in, but like Miami's a great basketball city too.
Yeah. Raptors, nah.
What'll be interesting is to see some of these first-round matchups in the East because all the play-in teams are within reach of each other. To see who's going to be able to play for the 7, who's going to be able to play for the 8.
I think the Bulls passed the Hawks.
If the Bulls pass the Hawks,
They'll be 8. I don't think they passed the Magic.
But if they win that game, they could be the 7.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool. But they would have to play the Celtics. I would rather play the Cavs. Like you said. I mean,
I think they match up better. I think Celtics stomp us.
Yeah. But like that's we've seen that matchup twice in the last.
And the Celtics are hot. Like they're hot right now. The Cavs are cooling down.
Naturally, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the 7 and 8 in the West.
Clippers and Grizzlies, I'm not worried about either of them. Grizzlies have only
they can't really be passed, is what I was gonna say.
Grizzlies fired their coach. They've only lost since. They're 3-7 in the last 10. They were the 4 seed. We want a better seed. Why? You're the 4. Like you guys are young.
Why did they? Did they ever give a reason out?
Nope. I don't know. Maybe controversy, maybe a dispute, but I just don't get firing your coach as the 4 seed in basketball. There's 15 teams in the conference. You're number 4. Keep your damn coach. That means there's that many worse. I don't get it. Okay, now we can talk baseball. I think we're good for baseball. Unless you have any other points.
No, I'm excited. I think it'll be a good playoffs. I really do.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see the Bulls' future.
Last year was a terrible playoffs. So hopefully we get a step up. Because March Madness wasn't great either.
I'm going to talk my Cardinals for a little bit.
I'll jump in on the Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we bad? Pitching. Pitching sucks. We just lost. We scored 9 runs and gave up 13. Where are we good, though? Because that's what I'm going to talk about. Because, of course, I'm an optimist. We're not going to be great, but we're young, and we have potential now to grow. Where do I think we're going to grow? Well, one, we can score. We've scored a lot all year. We have hitters. Catcher. Herrera's looking like he's going to be that guy for us. He batted 300 last year. He just had a 3-home run game. He had another home run, I think, last night.
He did.
Like, he's been going off. And last year, he had a good season again. And he's 24. You know?
Right. And they're doing it right finally, right?
Yes.
They're blowing it up. But not to the point where it's unsalvageable and you're just going to be the worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun, exciting team. They're going to have growing pains. It's natural.
Yep.
But they still have a lot of pieces for the future. Herrera, Mason Wynn. Who's struggling, but Mason Wynn will be fine. He's Mason Wynn. Is Jordan Walker up?
Jordan Walker's up, and Jordan Walker's – I have not given up on him. He has looked better.
He's going to be I hope he's going to be fine.
I think he's going to be fine.
He's a sick, sick athlete.
Newt Barr is actually coming into his own. And he has one of the best eyes in baseball. Like, he does – if it's not a strike, he is not swinging. Like, he has a really good eye.
You still have, for now, Arenado. You still have
But Arenado
Contreras.
Yeah. Arenado, where I think about him right now is I think that he's really helping develop these young guys. He looks like he's having fun again. Yeah. Another player, though, Victor Scott II, VS2. He is fast. He's so fast.
Yeah.
I watched him, he called off, he's center fielder, of course, but he called off left fielder way in left field territory. Made a sliding catch, towards the gap, too. Caught that. Another play, called off the right fielder, made another great catch just the other night. And he doesn't get caught stealing. Yeah. He's so quick. I forgot what his time per base was, but it was insane. But I don't know. I'm really excited about him as well. But we have young guys and we can score, like I said. But yeah.
And you got J.J. Weatherholt waiting in the wings.
Yes.
In the minors.
Yeah, and we got him 7th overall. I think he's batting like 293 in the minors or something, like
that
300.
Middle infield with him and Mason Wynn is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Contreras has sucked to start.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
But Jordan Walker, VS2, Newt Bar, Mason Wynn, even Burleson's still pretty young. I like Burleson. But Herrera as well. I think those guys, studs. I think we're going to be fine there. I think Jordan Walker, if he does come into his own, because he's supposed to be, last year, Mason Wynn is what Jordan Walker was supposed to be.
Right.
And if Jordan Walker can come into his own and Mason Wynn still plays at a high level, we're fine.
We got a lot to look forward to, and that's just my problem. Is it's year 6 of the Pirates rebuild, and they're not even close.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2 position players that are above league average, and 3 starting pitchers, and that's it on your entire 26-man roster. You got 5 guys that would start for any team in the majors. The rest, maybe some, maybe not. Most, probably not. It's a joke. It's a joke of an organization. It's going to be a joke until they sell the team. I can't do it very much longer. It's frustrating. You're going to waste the best pitching prospect of this generation. Can't do it. I don't even want to talk about them. That's all I got. But the Cardinals, they're in a good spot. And especially this year, they can get some experience playing in meaningful games late in the season because it's a weaker division. It'll be a great thing for them.
Yeah, and they're young. And again, if we suck this year, good. I want us to do solid. What I want to see is growth. As for pitching, what do we have? Sonny Gray's very, very old.
He's a good guy. He's a good pitcher.
Good pitcher, very, very old. Any other pitcher? They suck. They all suck. Nicholas sucks.
Is Eric Fetty pitching well?
No, I think he just gave up 4 runs. Yeah, he has a 3 point. Last year he had a 3.3. This year he's a 7 ERA. It's been rough.
Yeah. If I'm the Cardinals, there's one move that
we have Helsley as well.
I would trade Ryan Helsley at the deadline this year.
He's a closer.
This is what the point of this is. He is a premium closer. He's a luxury good. The Cardinals will not need him this year. Let him pitch to the deadline. Get assets while you can. Had a bit of a down year for his standards last year. I think the downturn could be coming. Still throws hard. Still has great stuff. Get rid of him while his value is still high.
See, I really like Helsley. We just, at that point, if you're not a good team, you don't need an elite closer.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just.
You could get sick assets for him.
Yeah. I wonder when we trade Newtbar. Why do I say that?
I don't know.
We hate premium Asian players. And I mean it. We get rid of everyone. Anyone that has any value. I mean, you saw it last year. What'd we get? Do we have anyone from that? Nah. The trade last year, we got... I can't even think of anyone's name right now.
You got Tommy Pham.
We cut him after 6 games. I don't even count him.
Terrible for the Pirates.
Yeah.
You got Eric Fetty.
Yeah.
Who was great last year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll bounce back. It's only been 2 starts. He'll probably be fine. But Edmonds balling out on the Los Angeles Dodgers right now. They get away with another one, which is super frustrating for everybody.
My problem is right now, we gave him up for nothing. And I loved Edmund, and I was worried we'd do that. But why I say we got rid of Edmund, of course, and then we got rid of Colton Wong for nothing as well. We just let him walk as well to the Brewers, which I don't even know how he's doing right now.
I don't know if he's even playing anymore.
I'm not even sure. I could look it up. But he was a premium defender. But why? You have a young player to build around. Why trade him? I didn't like that trade when it happened. And that's why I'm like, I think Newbar's done. Colton Wong, 34. He is a free agent.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, when did he last play? He played in 2023 for the Dodgers. Why does everyone go to the Dodgers? I'm sick of it. He batted 300, and he had only 9 at-bats, or 30 at-bats. Never mind. Still. Sick of it. Sick of baseball.
I'm getting there. I'm not real thrilled with how it started.
My thing is, I'm very excited for the future, but the Cardinals have been my team. That's the team that I'm like, okay, they're going to do well. All my other teams suck. Now it's like the Bills do well. Everyone else sucks. And that's why it's been this has been a lot of football because our other teams have been pathetic. Like I would love to get into more sports. It's not that I'm a casual to my teams. It's just my teams make me lose hope. Like, I know the players on there. I can name that, but I know they're all trash. But no, with the Cardinals, I'm optimistic. I think that the Cardinals are going to be good in 5 years if we continue to keep building like this. We're going to have to hit on draft picks.
What's interesting is that 5 months ago, you could have said they're in the worst spot out of any of the teams in the division.
Yep.
And I think they're in the best spot now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't. There goes Brandon. I'll pick you back up. Oh. Let's have it focus. Is it focusing? No, it's shattered. No, we're good. I'm going to hold it the rest of the podcast because we're close. No, I don't think the Brewers made that good of moves. I think the Cubs might be in the best spot, truthfully.
Well, to compete now, yes. I'm just saying for now and the future.
Yeah.
I would kill to be in the Cardinals spot.
I thought the Reds were doing really well. Like, I thought they were doing really well, like, a year ago, 2 years ago, building well. Now I just think they're a wreck. I'm holding this. The Reds just look pathetic.
They do.
And they're back to what the Reds should be.
Yeah, I hate the Reds.
They're normally bottom of the barrel for our division.
I hate the Reds.
I can't remember them competing for a minute. I mean, they had their time for a little bit.
They made the playoffs in the COVID season, and then they got swept.
Yeah, but does that count?
Right. And then the last time before that they actually competed, 2013.
Actually that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that season, though. Yeah, 2013, 2014. But they haven't been good in a while. The Pirates haven't been good in a minute.
2015.
They finished higher than us, but that was our worst year ever. Not ever. Probably not ever.
No, we finished last year.
Did you? I thought you guys finished ahead of us. You
Cardinals
sure?
got hot late.
Did they?
They sure did.
How many games were we ahead of you? Regardless, we were both second to last and last.
I don't know. I think the Cardinals got into third.
Really? Cardinals got into second.
Second.
I stopped caring because I knew they weren't making it.
Yeah. But it was sneaky.
I remember you guys were way ahead of us for a while, though.
Oh, yeah. Not this year.
Regardless, I still think that was our worst season.
Cardinals were tied for second, yeah, with the Cubs, 83 and 79.
I don't know. I'm not used to them sucking. My whole life, they've been a team that I think could win a series. They don't get talked about enough. I feel like all other like major teams, like you're talking basketball, it's like, okay, the top two teams. You have the Celtics, of course. You have the Lakers, of course. Football, you have a few teams. You could talk Cowboys all time. You could talk Niners, Patriots, Chiefs, Steelers.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Chiefs actually lower. But you could probably talk Patriots, Steelers, Niners. Yeah, you have like four there you talk about.
Packers.
The basketball, who are we talking about? We're talking about the Bulls, we already said basketball. What am I saying? Baseball, basketball, hockey. Edmonton? Who else in hockey? Who's
Montreal,
number one?
Toronto.
A lot of the Canadian teams, even though they suck now.
Yeah.
Baseball, who do people talk about? The Yankees, the Dodgers. Forget that the Cardinals are number 2, though.
They've been successful. They're the Steelers of the majors.
Just no one talks about how successful they are. Because to be fair, the Yankees have a big gap. Baseball's in its worst spot. I actually saw it. I will say. One, I hate Manfred. That's not going to change. He's actually, you know what? He's Dak of the week. He just gets that. He's Dak of the year. He's Dak of the last 5 years.
Bob Nutting, Dak of the week.
Yeah. I just blinked. What was I just talking about? Baseball. I saw some good marketing. In the last few weeks. The Japanese market's killing it. Why? What do I hate about it? Because they're all Dodgers. Yeah. They market one team.
Stupid.
And at least they're marketing. I'll say that. But it's like, yeah, come watch baseball. We have the Dodgers. We'll throw in 2 Padres clips. We have Judge. Who are we gonna talk about past that? Nobody. Anyone in the Midwest? No. Baseball's for the Midwest. I mean that. Out of every sport, like I think that baseball is for the Midwest. Like basketball and all of them, you can say city. Football, city. Like it dominates there. Baseball's a Midwest sport. Midwest, islands. That's where it's played. But like no one's in New York City saying I'm gonna play baseball. There is, but it's like it's not dominant in that sense. But I don't know. If baseball continues to get marketed like as they should have been for the last 10 years, that's why they lost a lot of their market share. You could have more young kids interested. That's something that's missing a lot, especially in these small towns. People don't play baseball as much anymore. It's dying out. Like In areas it won't, but it's like
it's so poorly run at the highest level.
Yeah,
you just can't. It's not gonna grow.
But
it's not sustainable.
Sports trickle down from the highest level. Baseball used to be top. Like you're watching the NBA and you're like you have great representation. Like Ant's a great dude, and he's a great player. He's gonna trickle down. You have kids in Minnesota. They're playing basketball because of Ant. You know. You have in California, of course they're playing basketball. You know, in the city, you see Jalen Brunson now. They're playing. Like these guys are marketed well per city.
New York's always been a basketball.
Yeah,
so.
But you have these people playing because they have influence. You have football. You're looking at it. You see Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. People are playing because of them. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. You have marketable guys.
Lamar's been the most influential quarterback in the league in the last 25 years.
No, and he shifted it. But you have it trickle down. You have people being like, I want to be like him. The kids are playing. Okay? Hockey's in the weird spot. You don't have as much of that, but hockey's more, a lot of Canadian.
It's
a
lot of cold weather sport, obviously. So,
and
the northern teams don't need that. They're gonna like hockey.
They're gonna play it anyway. It's not so niche. Baseball, it's like there's other sports people play, but like Canada, they're playing hockey. They're playing lacrosse. Scandinavia, they're playing hockey. But baseball is one that you need these players to trickle down, like because the NBA and the NFL are so influential, football, basketball in the U.S. If you don't market it well, these kids aren't going to be like, other than Ohtani, who are people looking up to? You have maybe Tatis, but even they don't market them that well.
Yeah.
Like you have Judge, but that's like big cities. You want to market some of these Midwest teams, have people give something to root for.
They market Paul Skeens, but we're just so bad it doesn't even matter, dude.
Yeah, but if you were Cardinals and you're like marketing and you're like, here, look at Mason Wynn highlights. We're gonna promote these a bunch. You're gonna have kids over in St. Louis. You're gonna have kids in Missouri that are like, I want to play baseball. You don't have that so much anymore because baseball sucks at marketing, and because of that, I directly think is why like the rates are going down year by year because you don't have anyone to look up to. That means a lot.
The stars are all clustered in one spot. So,
like when I was young, like I could look up to Pujols as a Cardinals fan. Like I'm looking up to him. I'm looking up to
the stars
Carpenter.
Aren't
I'm looking
up
anymore.
It's like back then. Every team. Let's go through the division. Every team in that division had a star. The Reds had Joey Votto, MVP.
Yes.
The Brewers had Ryan Braun, MVP.
Yep.
The Pirates had Andrew McCutchen,
of course.
MVP. The Cardinals had Molina and Pujols and Wainwright.
Yeah, they had
Pujols,
like 3.
MVP.
Carpenter was good for a while. Like
the Brewers had Prince Fielder, who I don't know if he won an MVP, but he was a multiple-time All-Star. We already talked about Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Cubs had. Well, the Cubs might not have. But, like, even they did, though. Like, in the 25th, like, they won the World Series in 16. I'm more talking, like, 2012 to 2014.
Yeah.
They had Arrieta, Cy Young, Chris Bryant, MVP.
Yeah, Chris Bryant was...
So, like, every team in the most poverty division in baseball still had a star.
Because it's a Midwest sport. Now you see the West dominate, the East dominate. Why? Because everyone goes there because anyone can get paid. These big markets, of course, are going to pay. But baseball at its roots should not be that. Baseball's not a money sport. Baseball's a sport that you don't have to have money to play baseball.
Right.
The equipment's not that expensive. You have a glove, you have bats. Okay, they can get expensive, but still.
Yeah, but what bat?
Yeah, it's like everyone can play baseball. Everyone can get into baseball, and I think that was the appeal. Even when we were young, it was like it's there. We have players to look up to. That like I guarantee you looked up to McCutchen when you were getting into baseball. Yeah, and absolutely, and that got you into that. But it's not like you have anyone to look up to now. Like you could say Skeens, yeah, if you want to be a pitcher. What hitter are you looking up to?
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
I'm not moved. They don't win. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Baseball, maybe that's just a rant, but I just think baseball's so poorly marketed. It's not what it should be. And if it does not get better marketing, like I said, I saw a few, but it was mainly city-oriented. And again, not what baseball is at its roots. It's going to die in these places where baseball thrives. It's a small-town sport. Especially compared to them where you have schools dominate in football and basketball, you have baseball dominate in smaller areas. You have a lot of places like baseball too. Just even the colleges are much different that dominate.
Yeah,
and it's not like these big players typically. It's not like massive universities that are doing it. You have schools like Vandy and such and that are very good. Or, I mean LSU's quite big, but still Virginia. Powerhouse in baseball.
Fullerton,
yeah,
it's a very good tradition. Arizona State, very good tradition.
It's not these massive schools. It's not like you have to be in Ohio State to be dominant in baseball. Like, I don't know.
It's just a different game.
They're gonna kill the sport, and it's when we were young, it was the sport, and I think football was still catching up at that point. But it's like baseball, people watched. I can't talk to anyone like our age anymore or anyone younger that says I sit down and watch baseball games. And if they do, they're like, I'm a Dodgers fan. Yeah. Yeah, you are.
For sure. Yeah.
But it's like I don't see anyone new that watches baseball. It's the same people my whole life that have watched it. I don't see new people entering the market and watching. I see new people getting. I got into college football. I see a lot of new people getting into basketball. A lot of new people getting into football. I don't see anyone getting into baseball.
There's a lot of people getting into hockey.
Hockey's fun. The hockey markets itself. And I get it. Baseball's more of an experience when you go to the game. I feel like you go and it's a lot outside of the game that you're watching.
Yeah.
And I guess the pitch clock is marketable towards the sport. Even if I didn't agree with it, it is something that will bring people in because they're shorter games.
Right.
And more action. But, I don't know. It's sad to me because it's like, I'd say out of like American sports, it's like the traditional, like that's the foundation.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And it's just something that it's like we don't even dominate that anymore. Like we're not the best at that by far anymore. And it's just not it. Like Korea and Japan are catching up. The islands have already caught up. Like there are great Americans now. There's just many
Team
less.
USA, if they played right now, they're winning.
Team Japan beats them though.
They didn't have their best out there though. They didn't have their best out
They had a lot of their best out there.
Harper didn't play. We didn't have Skeens yet. A bunch of dudes like Bobby Witt didn't play.
I don't know. To me, it's much different, and I just hope that baseball goes in the direction where it's like people get interested in the game. Hope it gets in a wave, huh?
Judge didn't play either.
Okay.
So I'm excited for next year. I think they all are because they kind of like we lost.
Yeah, but we lose a lot. Japan has more World Baseball Classics than we do.
They do.
But I mean, good on them.
And then the Spanish nations as well.
They love it though. They market it so beautifully in Japan. The billboards downtown in Tokyo and such, Osaka. There's crazy ones they have, and here you don't see it. I don't go down the street and see anyone other than Ohtani. I don't. I'm not seeing Bobby Witt on a poster.
He should be.
He should be. I'll see Skeens. I'll see videos with him, but Livy Dunn does help a lot.
Yeah. You
take away Livy Dunn, he's a farmer that can pitch the ball really, really well, but nobody's talking about him. Not to be like he's great, but like not a regular dude. Like my dad does watch a lot of baseball, but like
Chris Sale.
My grandma's not knowing him.
Who talks about Chris Sale anymore? That goes out of their way to talk about Chris Sale.
Yeah. If I say Ryan Helsley, who knows? If I say his name, maybe 5 people are telling me on campus, like, yeah, Ryan Helsley.
Hell's Bells.
Hell's Bells. I love that nickname. Okay, I think that's all we have. I'm tired of ranting. No, I'm not. I probably ran off air. But this has been the Booth Review, Season 5, Episode 3. We'll see you in 3 months. It's been bad. Well, next semester will be much better. We'll try and get a few more out there. Maybe we can get 5 for the semester. But this has been the Booth Review. I'll edit this. I'll get this up some point. I appreciate you guys. Any last things, Brando?
No, because I can't say go Pirates. Because no.
You can give a go Cards.
Go Steelers.
Go Bills. All right. See you guys.